Good evening and welcome to the Coon Rapids City Council meeting for Tuesday, May 1st, 2018. If you could please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Vescoviak.
Here.
Councilmember Kicker. Councilmember Demmer.
Here.
Councilmember Geisler.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Wells.
Here.
Mayor Cook.
Here.
One absent, Kicker.
All right, thank you. Next item on our agenda is to adopt this evening's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Geisler, second by Johnson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And the agenda is adopted. First item on our agenda this evening is oath of officer for new police officer, Chief Wise.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And actually, I have him stand up and stand right next to me. Of course, Mr. Mayor, council, city staff, citizens of Coon Rapids, you know it's our tradition to introduce our new officers to the community here at the council chambers. It's important to us because the relationship between the citizens and its police department is an important one. In this case, we're especially fortunate in that our newest officer is also a Coon Rapids resident, which of course I like a great deal. Today, I'm going to introduce Officer Derek Berggren. Derek was born and raised in East Bethel. He attended and graduated from St. Francis High School. While in high school, he participated in choir, track, basketball, and football. After high school, he went to Winona State University where he earned a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice. He attended and completed his skills, the learning the practical matters of law enforcement at Alexandria Tech in 2017. As a young man, before Derek got to the position that he is right now, he worked a wide variety of jobs, which again is another thing that I like to see, where people dabble in the private sector and come to understand the world is bigger than law enforcement especially. But in his case, Derek, as a young man, had a passion for law enforcement at an early age, especially so because he has family members that are also in law enforcement, including an uncle and his late father, John Berggren, who was a deputy with the Anoka County Sheriff's Office, who succumbed to cancer prematurely. I'm sure he would love to be here for this moment. But it's a special thing. It's sentimental to me. I knew his dad and I worked with his dad some, so it's sentimental and emotional, and it's amazing that he's here. While working on his law enforcement education, he was a community service officer for the Anoka County Sheriff's Office. Again, more experience that I like to see. It's a tough job doing that level of community service. We jokingly call it dog catching locksmiths, but it's so hard, the work, staying busy, doing the needs of the people and understanding those elementary levels of law enforcement matter. So now we are happy to have Derek become a member of our police department. His first day of work was December 26th of 2017. Since that time, he's been trained and evaluated on the Coon Rapids way of doing business. It's been hard. It's designed to be hard. He's been pushed. We try to place him under a lot of stress, and finally he's to the point now where he's graduating from our field training program. So Derek, tonight we have removed your trainee badge and are going to officially present you with Coon Rapids Police Officer Badge number 159. Two things about this badge. One, it symbolizes the hard work of the people that are around you, both in your selection and training. But secondly, and most importantly, this badge belongs to the people of Coon Rapids. They're entrusting you with it, and I know and expect that you will earn their trust every day that you show up for work, and they'll appreciate all that you do to take care of them here. So with that, you become a member of a proud organization of professionals, every one of which is committed to your being successful here moving forward. So on behalf of the department, welcome to the city. And at this point here, we're going to be ready for the badge pinning. In this case, his wife Maggie is going to be conducting the badge pinning. So I'll have you step to the center of the floor here. And this would be his wife Maggie. You've already practiced this, so you're already confident. So I'm going to hand her this badge and wish you good luck.
right hand and repeat after me. I, Derek Bergren,
I, Derek Bergren,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
I do solemnly
Swear that I will
support the Constitution of the United States
Thank you. I'll break it down shorter. And the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and discharge faithfully
and discharge
the
faithfully
duties of a police officer for the city of Coon Rapids. The duties of
the
a
police officer for the city of Coon Rapids,
in the county of Anoka
in the county of Anoka,
and the state of Minnesota,
in the state of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations.
Congratulations and welcome.
And Mr. Mayor, he has a number of family present, and I know you take no offense when you get up and walk out.
We're kind of used to it. Congratulations and welcome. Welcome to Coon Rapids. Yeah, plenty of seats up front, guys. All right, next item on our agenda is the National Public Works Week proclamation. And so, since 1960, the American Public Works Association has sponsored National Public Works Week. Across North America, more than 30,000 members in the United States and Canada use this week to energize and educate the public on the importance of the contribution of public works to their daily lives. Planning, building, managing, and operating the infrastructure within our local communities and improving the quality of life. This year's theme, The Power of Public Works, gives voice to the impact of the many facets of public works the many facets of public works have on modern civilization. From providing clean water to disposing of solid waste to building roads and bridges or planning for and implementing mass transit to removing snow on roadways or devising emergency management strategies to meet natural or man-made disasters, public works services play a vital role in maintaining society's quality of life. I was a little disappointed, though. You know, last year I loved that Public Works as the cornerstone of civilization. You know, I missed that tonight, so I had to bring it in. I'm going to read the proclamation, and then we are going to invite everybody to the open house.
Yes,
And you're probably not coming up. I'm just going to read it.
I'm a man of one tonight, so.
All right. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Coon Rapids, and whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals responsible for building, improving, and protecting our transportation, water supply, water treatment systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens, and whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the city of Coon Rapids to gain knowledge and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their community, and whereas the American Public Works Association has celebrated the annual National Public Works Week since 1960. Now, therefore, I, Jerry Cook, Mayor of the City of Coon Rapids, on behalf of City Council do hereby proclaim the third full week of May as National Public Works Week in the city of Coon Rapids and urge our people to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our health, safety, and quality of life, proclaimed this first day of May, 2018. It would be an ugly place without Public Works and everything that they do.
Modern civilization thanks you.
Yeah. Mr. Himmer, do you want to talk about the upcoming open house?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, members of the public, on Saturday, May 12th, to kick off prior to National Public Works Week, we will be hosting an open house at the Public Works Facility, 1831 111th Avenue, from 10 a.m. to noon. And there's all kinds of demonstrations, different events. I think there's some tree saplings that are given out, activities, different events for the family. So come on down, look at all the equipment, see what we work with, learn a little bit more about what we do every day, and we'd welcome everyone and hope to have them there.
It's one of the funnest things we do here. You talk to, from adults to kids, they're all just excited to see all the equipment, to see the facility, to look around. It's a really great opportunity to really see the inside works. And I would encourage as many people as are able to come down to the open house. Agreed. All right. I guess I wasn't going to get any pushback on that, huh? All right, well, thanks, Mr. Himmer. Item 3 on our agenda is the Poppy Days proclamation for American Legion Post 334 End Auxiliary. Do we have representatives from the Legion and the VF? Yes. Okay, all right. So, I've actually got 2 different proclamations, so maybe we'll start with the Legion. And I'll be right down there. So much stuff. Dang. It's a good thing that was turned off. Excellent, excellent. And why don't I read the proclamation and then you can introduce yourselves and
Okay.
tell us what's going on here.
Okay.
And the first one is proclamation for Poppy Days. Is this on? Whereas the Coon Rapids American Legion Post 334 and Auxiliary have adopted the poppy as their commemorative symbol, and whereas the memorial poppy, assembled by disabled veterans, pays respectful tribute to those killed in war, and also benefits the living veterans and their families, and whereas public donations for poppies fund rehabilitation programs within each local community that benefit veterans, their families, and ultimately our state and nation, and whereas the basic purpose of the annual distribution of poppies is eloquently reflected in the desire to hear the dead by helping the living. Honor the dead by helping the living. I was close, wasn't I? Now, therefore, I, Jerry Cook, Mayor of the City of Coon Rapids, on behalf of the Coon Rapids City Council, hereby proclaim May 18th and 19th, 2018 to be Poppy Days, urging all citizens of Coon Rapids to recognize the merits of this cause by contributing generously and to wear a poppy as mute evidence of our gratitude to the men and women of this country who have risked their lives in defense of the freedom which we continue to enjoy as American citizens, proclaimed this first day of May, 2018. So why don't you tell us who you are and where you're going to be selling poppies or what's going on. We're not. We don't sell poppies. That's right. I know that. See, I'm so happy I'm doing this a second time, so then I'll be able to get it all right that time. Here you go.
There you go. I'm Diane Bowman. I'm the Poppy Chairman and second Vice President of the Coon Rapids American Legion.
Auxiliary, yes.
Yes,
I'm the president of the same auxiliary. Honored to be supporting, and Stefan, the president of the auxiliary.
And since we do not have a post currently, post home, sorry. The Coon Rapids VFW has graciously let us come and meet there for our meetings and some of our events. And Pappy's Bar and Grill has graciously let us put a donation in our poppy posters there. Plus, we have Chanticleer is also lets us do pull tabs and bingo at that establishment.
Excellent. All right. Perfect. So, all right.
One of our little flowers here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you very much.
So send your families and friends out on the 18th and 19th because we will be around the community. Yes. Yes. Yes, Cub Foods.
And Cub Foods and Walmart over in Riverdale
Yep.
will be out in force.
Happy to hand out poppies, and we certainly will take donations from businesses as well. So we keep programs going. We don't need a necessarily brick and mortar to do it. We just do it. We just still want to help our veterans, so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, if we could get the, all right, VFW Post 9625 and auxiliary. All right. How we doing? Excellent, Mr. Greer. Good. You were that.
I'm not sure, we're both active members, or retired military members.
Okay. So we're back up and face this way.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And then I will, let's see. So the Coon Rapids VFW Post 9625 has adopted the poppy as their commemorative symbol. Poppy Days pays respectful tribute to those killed in war and also benefits the living veterans and their families. Representatives from these organizations will be present to accept the proclamations. You're here. Council is asked to proclaim Poppy Days in Coon Rapids. So here we go. Whereas the Coon Rapids Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 9625 and the Veterans of Foreign Wars Auxiliary have adopted the poppy as their commemorative symbol, and whereas the memorial poppy, assembled by disabled veterans, pays respectful tribute to those killed in war and also benefits the living veterans and their families, and whereas public donations for poppies fund rehabilitation programs within each local community that benefit veterans, their families, and ultimately our state and nation, and whereas the basic purpose of the annual distribution of poppies is eloquently reflected in the desire to honor the dead by helping the living. Now, therefore, I, Jerry Cook, Mayor of the City of Coon Rapids, on behalf of the Coon Rapids City Council, hereby proclaim May 18 and 19, 2018 to be Poppy Days, urging all citizens of Coon Rapids to recognize the merits of this cause by contributing generously and to wear a poppy as moot evidence of our gratitude to the men and women of this country who have risked their lives in defense of the freedoms which we continue to enjoy as American citizens, proclaimed this first day of May, 2018. So if you would introduce yourselves.
Sir, I'm Chief Master Sergeant Retired Teresa Shumway. I'm the Poppy Chairman for the VFW 9625. This is my commander, our commander, Bruce Van Brusken, and we are happy to be here. You want to say something?
That's it. That's it. So where will you have your poppies at the VFW then?
Oh, sir, yes, we will be distributing our poppies at the VFW, also County Market on Round Lake Boulevard, Festival Foods, and Walmart on Round Lake on Boca Hill Road, the big Walmart,
Oh, okay,
on 19th and 20th.
okay. Very good. I will sign this and we'll send you off with a proclamation here. Thank you.
Senior vice.
Oh, hello. Were you supposed to be up here?
I'm kind of shy.
Okay. Well, welcome. We're happy you're here.
Thank you, sir. Welcome. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you now.
My son's a Minnesota State Trooper.
Next item on our agenda this evening is item 5, to approve the minutes of the April 17th meeting.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Demmer, second by Griscoviac. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. We have 4 items on our consent agenda this evening. The first is item 6, to accept the right of entry and operations and maintenance agreements with RLB Northwest LLC. RLB Northwest LLC received site plan approval in January for the construction of a new fast food restaurant, Raising Cane's, which is to be located at 13001 Round Lake Boulevard. The right of entry agreement allows the city to periodically enter the property to exercise hydrants, valves, and to flush the water main system. The utility system within the site is considered private, and the property owner will continue to own and maintain it. This right of entry agreement simply provides the city the ability to ensure appropriate fire protection. So we will be accepting the attached right of entry and operations and maintenance agreements with RLB Northwest LLC for the new Raising Cane's location at 13001 Round Lake Boulevard. Next item on our consent agenda, and item 7 this evening, is to approve a 1-year extension of site plan for Vanman Architects for Spirit of Grace Church Planning Case 17-9. On May 18th, 2017, Vanman Architects was granted site plan approval for 3 additions to Spirit of Grace Church. The additions include a 276-seat sanctuary, an 859-square-foot multipurpose room, and a 109-square-foot vestibule. The site plan was approved, and the extension is needed to allow the church additional time to arrange financing and to continue fundraising. The proposal has not changed and remains in conformance with the land use plan and city code standards. At the Planning Commission meeting held on April 19th, the commission recommended the council approve the proposed site plan approval extension to May 18th, 2019. So we will be in planning case 17-9. The city council will move to approve a 1-year extension of the site plan approval to May 18th, 2019. Next item on our consent agenda, item 8, is to adopt Resolution 18-64, establishing a new polling location for Precinct 3-4. We've been informed by the Spirit of Grace Church that the church will be constructing an expansion to the church building, we've just heard that somewhere, and will be unavailable for use as a polling location for the 2018 elections. Staff has made arrangements to vote Precinct 3-4 at the Coon Rapids VFW Post 9625, along with Precinct 3-3. Staff has confirmed that the VFW Hall has the ability to be separated into 2 rooms and that there is adequate parking to facilitate voters from both precincts. So with this Resolution 18-64, if you were voting at the Spirit of Grace Church, if you're in 3-4, you will now this year be voting at the Coon Rapids VFW Post 9625. So we're adopting Resolution 18-64, a resolution establishing polling location for Precinct 3-4 at the Coon Rapids VFW Post 9625, 1919 Coon Rapids Boulevard. Our last item on the consent agenda, which is item 9 this evening, is to adopt Resolution 18-65, accepting the donation of $3,817 from Community Strength Foundation for the purchase of replacement snowflake decorations. This sounds critical. In November of 2006, so 11 years ago, 11 and a half, 13 large snowflake decorations were purchased from Main Street Designs located in Champlin to be placed in front of Coon Rapids City Hall and the police department during the winter holiday season. Over the years, many snowflakes have been retired due to, retired due to the wear and tear of being in the elements, leaving just 7 that could still be used. These 7 snowflakes are now in disrepair and in need of being retired as well. The Coon Rapids Arts Commission discussed the need for these to be replaced, researched the best options available, and is recommending the purchase of 9 new snowflakes. A quote of $3,817 was obtained from the same local business, Main Street Designs Incorporated, to replace 9 of the snowflakes. The vendor has agreed to waive shipping and handling if the order is placed before May 31st, 2018. So with the generous donation from Community Strength Foundation, there will be no impact to the 2018 budget. So we will be considering Resolution 18-65, accepting the donation of $3,817 from Community Strength Foundation for the purchase of 9 replacement outdoor snowflake decorations. And that was our last item on the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Geisler.
I'll move the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Geisler, second by Wells. Discussion? Councilmember Demmer?
Question on the first one, the one that we got the papers for. So we got the updated contracts. Was there anything meaningful that changed, or was it corrections?
So that was the right of entry and operations and maintenance agreements with the RLB Northwest LLC, that one?
Yeah.
Item 6?
Councilmember Demmer, I think the revision you're talking to, the updated memo, is for item number 10, not anything on the consent agenda.
So, yeah, so this is basically what we did last meeting for Honda, right? Approving public access for the,
Oh,
Mr. Brody, you had your hand up.
Councilmember Demmer, the only difference is they scanned us the copy, which were sufficient, but then when they sent us the originals, they had a different date on them.
okay.
And so we're gonna use the originals with the new date on them, and that's the only difference.
I was looking through trying to see what changed, and, okay, so.
It's formatted a little bit different.
Do we need
too.
to say anything to incorporate that this is the real one, or is that okay because it was scanned?
That's okay, I think, because that's the original, and that's what's gonna be in the mayor's packet. The
And then,
substance is identical.
Just wanted to thank the VFW Post, who was just here talking about poppies, for being a great pinch hitter and being able to take in two awards for the voting, so thanks again to them.
Yeah, it's excellent. To Councilmember Johnson's point, I would like to know where those retired toys go hang out. Any other discussion?
Mayor,
Councilmember Griscoviac.
might just ask, on the one-year extension for the site plan for the projects, Planning Commission 17-9, a one-year extension, do they have to get new permits and everything when that happens? If it's extended that long?
They haven't got any permits yet. That's why they need the extension. Once an applicant pulls a building permit, that's considered acting on the site plan approval.
I see.
They haven't gotten to that point yet.
Okay.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And the consent agenda is adopted. We don't have any public hearings this evening, and we are on to item 10, which is the consider resolutions 18-1 sub 9 and 18-1 sub 12, awarding the contract and adopting assessments for street reconstruction project 18-1. And we're looking at doing 4.7 miles of residential streets by reconstruction as part of 18-1. Staff has completed the plans, advertised the project on March 30th and April 6th, and received bids on April 20th. And we are looking to award a contract and adopt the assessments And this is for 29 different street segments. So it's best if you just look online to see if you're on there. You should know by now.
I'm not gonna read them all?
I wasn't gonna. And we had two options, correct? Or what was the,
That's correct, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. What was in the council memo was the base bid plus alternate two. That was a polypropylene or a plastic pipe. After further review, we're going to be in the water table, and there's some concerns with the buoyancy of that pipe, and it's something I don't want to include under a roadway along people's frontage of their property. So we've changed our recommendation to the updated memo to you, so it would be the base bid plus alternate one, in the amount of $3,240,329.41 to North Valley.
an alternate one is concrete,
Correct, concrete pipe.
because those don't float?
I sure hope not.
All right. Councilmember Demmer?
All right, so reading from the paper that has alternate one, move to adopt resolution number 18-1 sub 9, awarding a contract to North Valley Inc. in the amount of $3,240,329.41. And just highlighting that we also got an updated version of that on paper, the contract itself. And then move to adopt resolution number 18-1 sub 12, adopting the assessments for project 18-1.
I'll second that.
Motion by Demmer, second by Johnson. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember
I think
Geisler?
we'll just note that anybody who's in this area, they should have gotten postcards. And there's a meeting in Aspen Park on May 9th that they can attend and learn more.
That's correct. They'll get to meet the contractor, get some additional contact information, and there will be additional notification going out with project schedules with probably by the end of the week or early part of next week. Construction was scheduled to start May 14th.
Mr. Hammer, is this the first time we've done the open house, the meeting in the park like that for street reconstruction? It seems like a
Yes.
great idea.
Mr. Mayor, that's something that comes up all the time. If somebody were to call and say, you know, somebody did this or this occurred, it's just a way to understand who the contractor are, what type of vehicles they're in versus city crews. And there's some ownership then on the contractor, and people get to better understand. And you get to meet the person, and you get their contact information. So you can call them directly if you prefer.
So
Yeah,
the
well-
May 9th meeting, what time is it?
Yeah.
Like to get that out there.
I believe it's, I'm sorry, Councilmember Johnson, I want to say it's like 5 to 7 or 4:30 to 6:30, something like that, but you'll be receiving postcards if you haven't already.
Very good, thank you.
And it's also on the city website.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Next item is item 11, consider resolutions 18-2 sub 9 and 18-2 sub 12, awarding contract and adopting assessments for street reconstruction project 18-2. And this will be improving 4 miles of residential streets by reconstruction as part of project 18-2. Staff's completed the plans, advertised the project on March 30th and April 6th, and received bids on April 20th, 2018. Council has asked to award a contract and adopt the assessments at this time. And again, this is 19 streets. So if you were impacted, you should have already gotten your letters and your notices. And this one, they're also doing an open house, correct?
That is correct. May 10th, Thorpe Park for that one.
May 10th in Thorpe Park. Okay. Probably the same time as the other one, whatever time that is.
4:30 to 6:30.
There you go,
Thank you.
4:30 to 6:30. All right. Council, need anything else on this, or
So I can take that.
Councilmember Geisler?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 18-2 sub 9, awarding a contract to Northwest Asphalt in the amount of $2,546,838.95. And adopting resolution 18-2 sub 12, adopting the assessments for the project 18-2.
Second that.
Motion by Geisler, second by Griscoviac. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. And we are on item 12, to consider resolution number 18-6 sub 9, awarding contract for miscellaneous park and trail improvements. At its regular meeting held March 20th, the City Council approved plans and specifications and authorized the advertisement of bids for 2018 miscellaneous trail rehabilitation and improvements located in Burl Oaks, Prairie Oaks, and Vineyard Parks. Bids were open April 25th, 2018, and we're looking to award a contract at this time. It's for 225-foot trail reconstruction and pedestrian curb ramp installation in Burl Oaks Park. In Prairie Oaks Park, it's a trail reconstruction, pedestrian curb ramp installation. And at Vineyard Park, it's a trail reconstruction, pedestrian curb ramp installation. And the advertisement for bids was published April 6th and 13th, and bids were open April 25th. And the engineer's estimate for the project was $104,815. Oh my, that's really close. The low bidder, North Valley Incorporated, has successfully completed numerous projects throughout the city. Pending award of the contract, the work will be scheduled to take place between August and September of 2018. The low bidder came in at $104,387, within like $480 of the estimate.
Come on down.
That's impressive. Yeah, right. Yeah, without, lowest bid without going over, yeah.
Your Honor,
Councilmember Demmer.
move to adopt resolution number 18-6 sub 9, awarding contract to North Valley Inc. in the amount of $104,387.32 for the miscellaneous trail improvements.
Second.
Motion by Demmer, second by Geisler. Discussion?
Your Honor,
Councilmember Demmer?
I'm guessing based on the scale of the money, it's no problem at all, but I figure I should just ask. So this same company just got a different bid 2 items ago. Any reason to assume any sort of conflict or delay doing both, or is this small enough that they won't even notice?
Well, this is slightly delayed, Councilmember Demmer, behind the recon project because we got fog sealing and other things under the maintenance program.
Okay.
And there are also uses within these parks. So they also do trail projects and other things. So they're already mobilized to the area. So for us, we're not expecting any delays because they're not starting in May. This is more like the end of July, early August.
Okay, thank you.
I think they're rounding to the nearest 2 cents, gave them the tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any other discussion?
Mayor?
Councilmember Griscoviac?
Question on this, and it's actually a question on some other stuff that I've seen too, but adding the 20% contingency for engineering and testing, is that 20% additional contingency, is that in your original engineer's estimate?
That is correct. So if you look at the first 18-1 and 18-2, those also were within roughly $40,000-$50,000 of what that estimate is. This one was slightly higher because of that adding. So I've talked to Mark once about that before, and it gets a little confusing in what you do. But the engineer's estimate underneath the bids includes that 20% contingency, and it's not till you get down to the budget piece where it talks about that total cost do you really get to understand that every one of these was within $15,000 to $40,000 of what the engineer's estimate was.
Makes sense.
Sorry for the confusion.
Thank you, Mr. Hammer.
All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. No old business. We have some new business to consider planning case 18-5. Consider resolution 18-63, approving a registered land survey to subdivide 7.47 acres into 8 tracts in Port Riverwalk. Mr. Harlicker, Mr. Fernelius, this is just sort of more getting everything ready for the developer down there, for the builder?
Yeah, that's correct, Mr. Mayor. This is the 4th and final RLS that we're doing for Port River Rock to clear up title discrepancies that were found out during the due diligence process. Properties will be back before the Planning Commission and Council with preliminary and final plat that will reflect the development of the property.
Okay. Excellent. Council?
Your Honor,
Councilmember Demmer?
I to adopt resolution 18-63, approving the proposed registered land survey with the following conditions. All comments of the Anoka County Highway Department be addressed.
Second.
Motion by Demmer, second by Johnson. Discussion?
I'm just,
Councilmember
can't
Geisler?
wait to see the next stages. Starting to see something happen there. It's going to be exciting.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been waiting, patient.
Yeah. All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. We are at the open mic public comment. Are you, anybody here for open mic this evening? No? All right.
I guess I could ask a question.
You want to come up to the mic and tell us who you are and give us your address and. And then you might be a little disappointed because the way this works is you ask a question and then you get a letter back from the city manager answering it, unless it's a real low-hanging fruit that we can take care of.
Well, I mean, I didn't have a question initially, but I guess I should ask something since I'm the only one here.
Okay. What's your name then?
My name is Osama. I live in 94, 108th Avenue Northwest.
Okay.
And I guess I'd just ask how the construction of the Hanson Bridge is going along. I just heard little bits and details about it, but yeah.
Sure. So does somebody want to provide an update on that?
Sure, Mr. Mayor, members of the council.
This would be the low-hanging fruit.
Construction is starting in earnest today. You've seen a lot more of the traffic control that's occurring. So throughout the course of this year, 2018, there'll be traffic one lane in each direction while private utilities and most of the utility work gets completed. It will continue into 2019 when potential closures would be there and detours would be in place, and that's when they'll actually start constructing the bridge up and over the railroad track. So it's a 2-year project that's just getting started now.
Okay.
I hadn't answered everything, I guess. So.
All right. Thank you. Well, stop back. Nobody else here for open mic this evening. We don't have any reports on previous open mics. Other business?
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Johnson.
So I thought I'd give just a little bit of an update. I'm the City Council's liaison to the Fire Protection Council in Anoka County, and we had a meeting last week where we went through and approved the budget for the Fire Protection Council. And I did want to thank Chief Piper because one of the things that, this is a part that the citizens don't really see too much, and one of the things that Anoka County has and benefits from is what's called the North Metro Specialized Rescue Team. And that is a team of firefighters that was started by the city of Coon Rapids many years ago. And it has evolved into a countywide, in fact, a region-wide kind of team. So if there are specialized rescues that need to happen, basically firefighters from various agencies will roll out in response to that. So if you've got somebody that's stuck in the ice or somebody in the river or somebody in a well or something like that, there is a team that rolls out for that. And in the process of working on the budget this year, Chief Piper felt it was appropriate, and I agreed, that we ask the county now and the other members of the Fire Protection Council to share in the expense. As I indicated, the Specialized Rescue Team was created originally by Coon Rapids, but now it's really a countywide team and effort. And it was really heartwarming to hear the other chiefs around the county and around the region to be supportive of sharing in that expense with the city of Coon Rapids and also the other elected officials that were there. So I wanted to thank Chief Piper for getting it to the level that it was at and then turning it over to the county so that the citizens of Coon Rapids don't bear the full expense of that, but we all benefit from having just a really magnificent team. I think it is one of the things that makes Anoka County and the North Metro very special, and that is how fire works together in the various communities that are around, and it's similar to the Joint Law Enforcement Council that that Steve Wells represents the council on, and that everybody is working together to try to improve the service that is delivered here in the county. So our share in the budget will go down, others will share in that, and that's a good thing for everybody, I think. Thank you.
Nice. Sounds like all good news there. Other business.
Mayor?
Councilmember Griscoviac.
There's actually 2 projects on Hanson Boulevard coming up in 18 and 19, so I was just going to point out that the north part, right, from Highway 10 to Main Street is going to be reconstructed in 2019. There's a neighborhood meeting on that coming up on May 10th that it's going over the planned redesign changes, so just encourage people in those areas to check that out.
Do we know will that meeting be here in the Civic Center?
Civic Center.
Yep.
5 o'clock.
Chief Piper.
Mayor, council members, I just want to let you know that today we partnered with the Red Cross to have a blood drive here in Coon Rapids. That's why our ladder truck was up with the flag earlier, and I just want to say thank you to the citizens of Coon Rapids that came out to donate the, as they say, the gift of life. So thank you to anybody that stopped by today.
Excellent, excellent. Boy, our street sweepers have been busy. It's really nice to see all those residential streets all cleaned up and all that salt and sand cleaned up, so it's not washing into the storm sewers.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember
So
Geisler?
looking at the calendar, we've got a busy Saturday. So at the Coon Rapids Dam, it's the Kids Fishing Clinic. That's an Anoka County thing. So if you want to take your kids, it's from 9 a.m. to noon for the Kids Fishing Clinic. And then also we have the rabies clinic. So at the different fire stations, from 1 until 3, you can look at getting your dogs vaccinated. So those are the 2 big things coming up. And then, of course, we already talked about Public Works the following Saturday, the 12th, for the open house.
Okay, so those are both May 5th then?
Yep,
Okay,
the
Saturday.
kids and the rabies are on the 5th, and the Public Works is on the 12th.
A lot of stuff going on. Councilmember Demmer.
The Bunker Hills Golf Course turns into a really neat athletic event. There's the Darkest Night of Your Life 4K out there where they run the race for Hope for Youth at night, and it's just a really it's a good use of the golf course at night because you're not going to be golfing, but they put out the little luminaries and you go through it. So that's something on May 4th you might want to check out. And I know we mentioned it a few times, but don't forget to go check out the Cornerstone of Civilization at the Public Works Open House on May 12th. So.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember
If I might ask the Cornerstone of Civilization a question on this Public Works Proclamation Day. Our water tower north on Hanson, we approved a budget last year to get that repainted. Can you tell us an update on when that project might start?
Councilmember Griscoviac, members of the council, that project started yesterday. So there were residents within the area that would have received door hangers. People went around door to door. So they started on the roof, so you probably can't see the progress. So they're stripping the roof as we speak. They'll be repainting the roof and then doing the fluted column next. So it's about a 6-week process that just started yesterday.
Very good. Thank you.
Excellent.
And Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember
I missed
Geisler?
one thing for Saturday the 5th. How did I do that? So also the Family Health Fair. So that's at Oakview Middle School. They're going to have 30 vendors and kids zone and prizes and giveaways, and you can meet Olympic gold medalist Maddie Rooney.
Oh, cool.
So if you have a fan of hockey and you want to get the family health checked, go on over to Oakview Middle School, and that's from noon until 3. So you could actually start your day fishing 9 to noon and then go to the health fair.
By way of the rabies clinic.
By way of the rabies clinic with your pet, yes. Fun-filled Saturday.
All right. So, Mr. Stemwedel, as of right now, no decision has been made on the Riverwind Community Center building, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so we've had conversations at a workshop. We referred it back to the Parks Commission. I believe they've come forward with a recommendation and some other things, but the council hasn't had an official, we haven't taken an action on it yet.
That's correct. Mayor and council, that's something that Tim Hammer and I, the Public Works Director, have discussed in terms of the timing. Next week at our work session or other business, I was going to bring up how council would like to see that coming forward and the timing of that, but you're right, that no decision's been made yet. We're still evaluating the options. Parks Commission did evaluate and make a recommendation to council last month at their meeting, and we'll bring that forward to you very soon.
Okay. Excellent. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any other business to come before council? All right. Councilmember Demmer.
Second.
Motion by Demmer, second by Johnson to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.